So we're off to pick up a catering job and picked up one for Expedite. Repositioned the mic, turned up the gain a little bit. Noticed that the last sound was a little low. What's up, Blue? Doing a little 4-hour stream for a catering job. We're revamp our schedule. Doing Expedite. Expedite is our catering job, and I was trying to do Expedite with Uber Eats and DoorDash, and that's just not working for me. So I think what the plan is going to be is I'm going to turn on Uber Eats first thing in the morning at 4 o'clock and try and snag some Expedite orders going anywhere in the valley, and Uber then will let me go anywhere in the valley. And then we're just going to let Uber and Expedite dictate where we're going to be working. And then I've scheduled from 4:30 to try and get in front of the dinner rush to hopefully snag some large orders. And we're going to be working from 4:30 to 10 solely with DoorDash. That will allow me to maintain the platinum status, being able to schedule whenever I want to schedule. It'll still generate revenue through Uber Eats using the 3x2 and the 4x2 system, which works. And I've had numerous people tell me that it works. I'm not going to be able to make as much money as one of my top students, Desin, out of Memphis, Tennessee, but I think ultimately it will achieve the goal that we're trying to move up in the ranks for Expedite as quickly as possible. What's up, King of Veteran Dashers? Thanks for stopping by really quick. So we got a 1049 pickup at El Pollo Loco. And we're going to go run that really quick and then just turn on Uber Eats and run that until 4 o'clock, 4:30. Turn on our dash. We may pause our dash, but we'll start just prior to 4:30. That I find that when you start your shift a little bit early and take one order past your scheduled end time, you have a tendency to get higher paying offers. So I think we're coming up with a system that will work, and we're just going to keep on forging ahead and seeing if that works. Right now, I'm $50 down on the day just because of the learning curve, which is a little frustrating. But we're just going to chalk it up to learning and try and just move as quickly as possible with Uber Eats, during the day. So since I'm going to be doing this catering pickup, there's going to be some dead silence. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to have to expect during the lunchtime, and turn on a little music and just have that playing in the background. So this is just a quick slam dunk. It may be upwards of 30 minutes to get it all done. Probably 15 minutes to pack up everything, 15 minutes to drop it off. There'll be some drive time in the middle, and then you'll have my full attention until 2 o'clock, which is 3.5 hours from now. So just a slight delay during the catering job. I am thinking about in the future buying a little magnetic holder for my phone, taking that in, and I've got another mic with a dongle for my M2 mic system, and so I'd be able to take you in on the catering job. Um, might be muted, but then you'd at least be able to watch, all the activity that's going on during the catering, and go from there. So that's probably a week down the road. I still have to stop by. I have to find some time, which since today was a loss, I may make a trip over to Best Buy and see if I can find a solution for that. So. Can't throw another camera up here on the screen in a second. So I'll give you a little driving action as well. Got some graphics that I need to change around. My times have changed. It's not going to be daily. It's going to be Monday through Friday. And I'll be changing the time to Mountain Standard Time, just because that's what time YouTube uses for any future postings and whatnot. So, and Arizona keeps on flip-flopping between Mountain Standard Time. Keeps on switching between Mountain Standard Time and Pacific Time. So now we got to find this merchant. We're slightly early by about 4 minutes, so we can't say that we've arrived until 15 minutes prior, and it was a scheduled pickup for 10:49. All right, so we're here at El Pollo Loco, and gonna make contact here shortly. But yeah, so that's the plan. Start at 4 o'clock in the morning. Uber Eats wherever it takes me. Hopefully, schedule some stuff in advance for expedite, and go from there. Accepted the offer. Like I said, we're supposed to pick this up by 10:49. It's not that much stuff. There is setup required, it said. Let's see, it says 2 items that we're picking up, only $300 worth of food. Setup is required, but it's only going roughly 10 blocks away. It's only paying $20. But like I said, instead of having to deadhead back, to my zone, which was the original plan, only having DoorDash, now we'll be able to immediately after we drop this food, turn on Uber Eats and wherever it takes me, and then migrate roughly at 4 o'clock during rush hour traffic over to our zone for DoorDash, and then work that from 4:30 until 10 o'clock, and then hopefully we'll be able to maximize some earnings. It says setup in the lunchroom. Setup is expected, but it should only be, like I said, 2 items. But don't know what 2 items entail. So it could be 2 boxes with a bunch of stuff inside. So this is only my second expedite order. The first order that I did was Jersey Mike's, which was just pretty much some sandwiches, flip open the boxes, set up plates, utensils, separate out the mayo from the mustard. And I probably could have done that prior to arriving because, the distance to travel was going to get me there prior to the drop off time. So just things that I'm learning that after I pick up the stuff or when I'm picking up the stuff, if I can separate that stuff out, that would probably make the drop off that much quicker. So there's just things that I can do. Was suggested that I get myself some gloves, some like food handler gloves. So when I stop by over at Best Buy today, I might swing by maybe a Walmart or something and see if I can pick up some rubber gloves just to have those. It just has a good appearance when you're dropping off the food that you are handling their product, with care. Especially, because we drive all day long, our steering wheels are dirty, et cetera, et cetera. Probably good practice. Just when we arrive there, we load up everything into the cart, bring it in. First thing that we do is have to use a restroom in order to clean ourselves up and clean up our hands, and go from there. So it's all going to become part of a system. It's all going to become second nature. But until we actually learn that stuff, uh, it's just all part of the learning curve. So I got 1 minute before we can check in. Just don't want to get penalized for showing up early. Before bringing in catering bags, I'm gonna walk in, make contact, see what's needed, and then come back out, get the equipment, and walk back in. Takes a little bit of time, but instead of just walking in with too much equipment or equipment that's not needed, I'm just gonna walk in and assess the situation and introduce myself and let them know that I'm here to pick up the order. So the other thing is, we just got an alarm system put in, so I'll be utilizing that quite a bit because Uber Eats is going to take me into areas that I have no idea what the individuals in that area are like, and I just want to try and protect the investment of everything inside of the vehicle. So. All right, it's 15 minutes prior to. We're going to give it arrive pickup within 14 minutes. Just going to give it 1 more minute and then check in. We've got probably 8 catering bags, 20 pizza bags. Got plenty of equipment for anything that comes along our way. We have, more than most people who start out, with expedite. So, all right, I'm going to check in. Just checked in with the merchants. Arrived at your pickup. Important, the order number. Be on time. Bring your hot bags. Customer. Okay, orders must be set up for the customer. So complete the delivery or earlier than the delivery range. Take photos of the items before leaving. You'll upload them and confirm that. And we're heading in. So be right back. All right. So we've successfully picked that up, and we're probably going to end up arriving early. I'm going to navigate. What does it say here? It says deliver at 11 o'clock to 11:15. So that gives us 13 minutes. And it says that we're going to get there about 4 minutes early, which is fine because that'll give us time to load up everything into the cart. All it is one box and one catering bag filled with salads and utensils and that type of stuff. So I'll have to go drop this off, and then what we're going to do from there is we're going to turn on Uber Eats after we drop that off. So this should probably be about a 15-minute delay, dropping this stuff off. Like I said, until I can find a solution to actually bring you in without having to prop that up. I obviously don't want to put the customer, in view, but if I can give you a table view or something along those lines of the actual setup, then that may work. So I think the process that my anxiety started going up is they were still in prep. I have to talk to a friend of mine who's doing expedite and find out, what do I do? Do I just snap some pictures of some boxes, even though it's not the full order, and say that I have the order when I'm still waiting? Do I need to make contact with support? I don't know those steps yet as far as what's best practice. It really is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to maintain a certain stature. I'm trying to keep my ratings so that they're pristine. I've already tanked one because I did not know that you had to decline orders in order to, in a sense, show that you've received the order and decline those orders. There's an auto decline feature for 24 hours inside of Expedite, and that was brought to my attention. So I went from 0.98 ranking, almost zero, it's from 100% down to zero, up to 20 or something along those lines, and it'll only get better from here on out. So we're increasing the number of deliveries that we're doing as far as catering, and we're increasing our decline rate and acknowledgement rate, and so we're going to just slowly move up from being at the bottom of the tier, up towards the top. The process for picking up the stuff went smoothly. Verified the order with the merchant. Had a difficult time at first finding the name, but I found the name, and then we verified the number of the order, and so everything went smoothly there. And then they were just wrapping up the stuff and still putting it inside of boxes. Now the box that I was given was too big. I tried bringing in a couple of catering bags, and they would not fit inside of the catering bag. And so I did put the salads and the utensils and stuff inside of a catering bag for ease of carrying, and have the box inside of the car. And we're just going to go with that. I guess I could see if there's other catering bags that are out there that are big enough for Chipotle boxes or oversized. But, they just come to a point where you can't handle that many boxes at a time anyway. And they come with handles, and they're hot inside of a cardboard box. It's giving it some insulation. So I'm pretty sure that that's sufficient. That's how the merchant would be delivering it. That's how the merchant gives it to customers if they come and pick it up. So I don't know why they would have any problem as far as expedite, as far as just delivering from the boxes, the shipping boxes that they give us. So the idea was, one set for catering is we're hopefully going to get orders today and tonight for tomorrow, and so we'll be running most of our stuff in the morning. We might get a morning catering job, but the idea is usually it's a lunch catering, and that's why this block of live streaming is dedicated to catering. For watching. I appreciate you spending your time and taking a peek in to see what we're doing. Currently, we're on a catering job from El Pollo Loco. Just two boxes, like 3.8 miles, paying only $20. But there's not going to be any travel time, to get back to any zone or anything. We're just going to flip on Uber Eats. So really, we have an hour to get this done. We arrived at roughly, what was it, 10:35 or something along those lines. And so, from 10:35 to 11:35, that's $20 an hour. So it's still a good job. It's not the greatest of jobs, but it's still a good job. And it helps us to pile lifetime deliveries to increasing our rate, on expedite, which is the ultimate goal. Plus, it gives us experience. You can't put value on the experience, learning certain things and how certain merchants pack things up. You get faster and faster, and you know what to ask for. You know what they might be missing, and we learn with each setup as well. And it's my understanding that even though this says that setup is required, sometimes merchants don't want you handling the food. They just really want you to drop it off and they'll meet you outside the cart. And but we go in with the expectation, since it says that setup is required, we go in with the expectation that we'll be doing the setup. Oh, and by the way, if you were in the morning show, I said that my lunch was going to be salmon and going to be chicken fingers, which is the leftovers from last night's dinner. I know, weird combination. That's what the family had. Hey, Toyo, welcome back. Going into a school zone. One thing I do miss is that Expedite doesn't have any type of a widget or anything that you can, look at the delivery information. Plus, that always freaks me out, right? It's like, all right, I'm here looking for the appropriate building number. Should be straight ahead. Looks like it's the correct location. And we're about 3 minutes early. So I'm going to actually wait until 11 o'clock to walk in, but I got plenty of time to load this stuff up in the cart to make it easier to walk in. So I will be right back, hopefully in about 15 minutes or so. All right, so that was a slam dunk. That worked out well. So we're out of here. Nothing going on. So now we're going to switch over to Uber Eats and see where that's going to end up taking me for the rest of the day. All right. Get something real quick. One more thing to do. I'll be right back. Had to get rid of the box. So we've turned on Uber Eats. Nothing's going on. We're kind of in a dead area. Clicked on a navigate to a hotspot. That's what we're currently getting ready to do. And let's go Uber. Never thought I'd be an Uber driver. Never, ever, ever thought I'd be an Uber driver. I just have to figure out how to get out of this parking lot. All right, that was easy enough. So we've picked a spot that said Panda Express was really busy. It looks like it's going to drive us by a KFC and a Jet Pizza and probably some other merchants and whatnot. Get us over into an area where there's actually merchants. one of the areas where I'm at right now that I kind of dread, but I'll just have to learn, is the Arrowhead Shopping Mall, just because I don't know where the food court is. So I'll probably rely on Google Maps to try and tell me where the entrance to those different things are. And this, again, may be a loss. I have no idea how busy Uber is in our market. You know, we'll find out just how much of a market share they actually have. But I just might be moving into Aaron's gigs area. I have no idea if they're going to migrate me all the way out to Chandler or not. So don't worry, Aaron, I got your back. Let's show Uber who they have on their team now. Mr. DoorDash. Mr. Almost 51,000 deliveries with DoorDash. Got 9 hours and 45 minutes before we call it quits. This stream will only be lasting until 2 p.m. and then we'll be shutting it off until 5 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock, we'll be doing once dinner has been served stream. And that'll all be DoorDash inside of our normal zone. So we've reduced DoorDash from 18 hours a day down to only 5 hours a day. Yes, Mr. DoorDash is now Mr. Uber. See if I can pick some Uber drivers' brains while I'm waiting for food and see if they can teach me any tips and tricks. You got any tips or tricks, Toyo? I appreciate you hanging around. I appreciate you hanging around. See, this is where normally we probably would have already gotten stuff for DoorDash. We are coming into the lunchtime. There's Panda right there. We don't have a Panda job. They just said that Panda was a hot spot. So we're just going to park it over here in the middle of the shopping area. That way we can make a clean break for it when something does hit. We got Subway, Little Caesars, Bumboba, Panda, Carl's Jr., make sure I don't have, it says I'm online. Interesting that they show a earnings trend. Currently, we're in Northwest Phoenix in the Glendale area. So it gives you a map of the area that we're currently in. So they do have zones, it looks like. Let's see if I can do this here. Instead of just talking, see if I can do something a little different. See if I can find an app. That's a problem with this. I can do it from this back end as well. Give me 1 second. Nope, sorry. 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's 12 o'clock, 30 minutes. Uber is different in your market. Yeah, it's different in all markets. It's different in all markets. So I'm wondering if probably have to have Bluetooth turned on. That's why it's not connecting. Refreshing. So we're just sitting here waiting for a job. Hopefully your days are going well. Let me know what opportunities you're working with: Uber, DoorDash, catering, Instacart. So I'm wondering if that ding 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 was Trip Radar. Mostly do Spark. 506 going 3.7. We're going to do a match. Match in progress. All requests were taken. Please try again. So yeah, ding ding ding. That's a Trip Radar. Do you just have them running in the background, Toyo? So is it best with Uber to be driving around, or is it best to sit and wait for an opportunity? Learning about driving time, it's different than it is with DoorDash. Usually wait in a spot. Well, that's what I'm doing. I guess probably just like DoorDash with hotspots. Right now, this isn't really a hotspot. This is kind of a dead area. Seven 7.6 going 7 miles. 7.6 is 21 minutes, and it should take 14 minutes. So we accepted that job. We're off and rolling. Let's go make some money. Here we go. Go, go, go. Here we go. It's trying to get into the flow. It is lunchtime. So you'd think that it would be fairly busy. I just, again, not knowing this market, not knowing where to actually hang out, where the power strips, as some people call them, not knowing that information is our downfall. It's our Achilles heel. Got a fire truck behind me. Looks like he's going to go the opposite way on the street. Yeah, that's one. That's one of the benefits that I'm also looking at is with the number of deliveries that I normally do and the volume that I take because my be able to scoop up a lot of different quests and stuff along those lines. Um, yeah, I know it's right after Cinco de Mayo, and as a result, everybody's kind of spent their money and everybody's got leftovers that they brought into work. So, and today was probably a good day to learn where it wasn't going to be throwing myself into the fire. But yeah, I agree. I think it shouldn't take long to move up. A bunch of deliveries under my belt. I normally do probably 40 deliveries through DoorDash, and I'll probably end up doing 10 to 15 between 5 and 10 p.m. or 4:30 and 10 p.m. And so that leaves anywhere like 20 to 25 that I might be able to get done on a daily basis, with with Uber. So the question will be is, if I'm close to capturing a quest, will I pause DoorDash to prolong that to grab the money that's on the table, the potential earnings. And of course, that would be a no brainer, I would think. So, I'll put this in the actual chat. I'm approaching 51,000 lifetime deliveries. So I'll type that in. I'm like at 50,800 or something along those lines. How about now? Are you muted now? Sorry about that. Something must have changed. All right, that's on board. I apologize for that being muted. I think that was the attempt to try and hook up the phone to the computer, and it kicked off the mic. All right, good luck, Toyo. Toyo's hitting the road. I think he said he was starting at 12 o'clock, was what time he was next shift. Good. Normally, I wear a hoodie inside of the car. It's 80 degrees, and 80 degrees is kind of like the take off the extra layer of clothing. One of the other challenges is with all the equipment that I have inside of the car, there's AC running, wintertime, summertime, et cetera, et cetera. And plus, there's 4 fans that I have, external fans that are constantly putting airflow into the vehicle, and sometimes it gets really chilly in here, really chilly. So I know sometimes I look kind of funny because it's 80 degrees out and I'm still wearing a hoodie. And other people are wearing swimsuits and shorts and all that type of stuff. But 3 o'clock to 9:30, Toyo's gonna go on out and go make what 140, 150. What you shooting for, Toyo? What you shooting for? What's your target? What is your target? See, in DoorDash's standards, except you're going through the dinner rush, 3 o'clock to 9:30 is 6.5 hours. That would be $130 would be the minimum amount that I would hope that you would make. All right. You heard it from Toyo right there. It says be good, but we'll see what happens. If I can do 150, that would be excellent, but we'll see what happens. It's raining right now. That could be a good thing. That means other people won't come on out if you're prepared and got the tools and resources to stay dry. Sometimes when it's raining, that's when I make the most money. But one, you have to have the right vehicle, maybe an umbrella, towels. I'm noticing I use an app called TextBand, TEXPAND. I'll type it in the chat. I don't believe it's on Apple, but it's an Android app, and you can set up short phrases. So all you have to do is type in, say, IH, hit the search bar. It brings up whatever it can find with an IH in it, and mine is I've arrived and I'm following your drop-off instructions. Well, some of the things when I've left it at your front door, thanks for using DoorDash, obviously isn't going to work using, left front door LFD. I'm going to have to do something like DDLFD and or just LFD, probably LFD DD for DoorDash and UE for Uber Eats. But when I type in LFD and hit the search, it'll bring up both messages, and then I'll always know that DoorDash is above Uber on the search criteria. Otherwise, whatever it populates, you just hit the back key once and it goes back to the search and you select the other one. So I'll be able to just copy and paste and set up duplicate messages that aren't populated with DoorDash information, just so I can give the same personal touch, to my Uber drivers that I give my DoorDash, to my Uber customers that I give to my DoorDash customers. So I think that what I'm going to end up doing is working Mother's Day from 4 o'clock in the morning until noon because everybody will be sleeping at the house, and then take off from noon until the next day, and hopefully use that time to fix some of these minor irritations and bugs that I'm seeing inside of my system. Right now, I'm in such a rush at looking at Uber, and things are populating on Trip Radar and then they disappear. My normal process for DoorDash is offer comes in, I take a screenshot whether I accept it or decline it, and I have not done that all day long with Uber. And so instead of being able to go in and see an audit history as to what I accepted, what I declined, so that I can fine tune my decision making, I haven't been taking screenshots. And I think part of it is just a little bit of anxiety that I'm feeling. And because I'm feeling that anxiety and that anxiousness and that FOMO, that fear of missing out, that the offer is going to disappear because of something that I've already experienced with the Trip Radar. And will I be tracking Trip Radar because it wasn't just given specifically to me? So not sure. It's a little bit more difficult to track those numbers. So then the question is, do I need to track those numbers? Should I be using something like Gridwise or Solo or some other app? Or should I turn on both? Should I go with a ranking system and show people, who I am by using Solo? Should I tried going down that path, but what I found was I couldn't log in because it said too many failed login attempts. So then it makes me wonder if somebody knows who I am because I was dumb enough to put my email inside of my YouTube about page, and now they're looking at my earnings on my nightly numbers. And hey, how's it going? Oh, let me turn you blue. How's it going, Kendra? I don't know what I just did. I think I did it. Find out. There we go. Thanks for stopping by. I'm struggling a little bit, Kendra. I'm struggling. I'm trying to work out the bugs in this system. Yeah, you worked pretty hard yesterday on the treadmill. That was a fun stream. You would have thought that it was boring, but it was nice that you and Craig were doing that little challenge. And you were catching up to him. So look at that. We can throw you up on stage, Kendra. So excited to see Kendra. I missed my turn. See what you do to us, Kendra. I hope you don't mind that I threw your number into the chat for the mafia bosses. I mean, you did send me the email, and I just took care of it as soon as I saw it. Say I'm going to a school to go drop this off. Schools are always fun. It's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be there used to be kids ordering food and wanting us to meet them in some area like the football stadium. And of course, security would always come and slap our hands, and we're just like, we're just trying to drop off the order. Yeah. Eventually, you learn that everything goes to the office. So, and then the kids, of course, are like, but I can't pick it up at the office. Well, why can't you pick it up at the office? Because I'm not supposed to order it from the to the school. Well, then why did you? Right? So, I that was really bad like 2 years ago. I have not really had that experience as of late. So I don't know if they've corrected that, like updated some type of back end thing that sends everything to the office regardless. But that used to be a horrifying experience. And of course, they always want to order the food at 2:30, 3 o'clock when the kids are all getting out of school. Parents are coming and picking up. You can't get to the office. You can't get through the parking lot. I appreciate it, Kendra. I'm trying. I'm trying. It went from we're going to do DoorDash and Uber at the same time to there's no way that we can do that. So we've changed her schedule from 6 a.m. till midnight to 4 a.m. till 10. That allows the girlfriend to be able to wake me up because she usually doesn't go to bed. Her meds for her back problem, to put her to sleep usually don't kick in until about 4 o'clock. So instead of asking her to try and extend past and affecting the family, I'm just like, well, let me adjust my schedule. All right, so where's the office? I think it's right over here. Yeah, that's what they tell me. And
Jennifer C. says, leave at building reception.
okay,
School office.
I don't know how to shut that off. That would really be nice to learn how to shut that off. All right, I will be right back. Uno momento, por favor. Here, watch. I can do this little nifty thing right here. Where is it? Media. And I can put that there. You can go to comments. And see now it says that underneath me right there, it says be right back. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. And this trip radar is really weird. It's not sure, if there's a faster way of finding that. If I should be on that screen so that I can see it. Uber Eats Pro Goal Safe Exploring Locations. Toyo said he's going to make $150 today. He said he's going to put a little pep in his step. He's going for the goal today. No, not while working as far as doing the setup. I could possibly set up some speed keys. I've got a tablet right in front here. Let me show you. I'll show you what the actual setup looks like. So this is so I have to be on stage in order to have a microphone, but this is what the setup currently looks like. And then this tablet here has got my YouTube stream on there, and that allows me to monitor everything that's being said. And then if I want to bring something up on stage, then I can go on over here, go to the sidebar, select the message, and highlight it to bring it up on stage. This is where all the food goes. This is just an extra phone over here. This could be extra navigation if I wanted to, or something along those lines. I've got another phone that's directly here, but that's got personal information. And you can always pinch to zoom, and people will do that. So in order to keep everybody's privacy intact, that's just slightly off. And then on the left side of the steering wheel over here, I've got another phone that's a hotspot, so that if the satellite dish that's up above me has problems with obstructions up above, then all these phones and everything all bond together through the hotspot on the left side of the steering wheel and give a boosted signal until the Starlink up above actually takes over again. And then there's a camera that's up on the dash that's just a webcam really, but it is mounted with the suction cup and pointing to the front of the car. That's what you were watching before. Then the camera that's me looking directly at you, that's an infrared night vision camera. And so at nighttime I'll be black and white, but you'll be able to see me in pitch black. I don't have to turn on dome lights or any of that other type of stuff. I'm in pitch black. My equipment is all illuminated, but instead of getting the glow from that onto me, it'll just look like I'm black and white. There's a slight problem with that. That's the transition from sunrise to sunset during those two periods of the day, where the sunlight or headlights, they want to fake out the sensor on those. So I need to find a way to block the sensor and manually control whether I'm in day mode or night mode. But So that's an infrared up above as well that's looking down on the equipment. And then I've got a dash cam that's got 4 views. It's got a view of the back, it's got a view of the front, it's got a view of both side windows, alarm system inside of the car, GPS tracking on all the devices and on the vehicle. So if somebody did try to steal it, it's supposed to auto kill and won't go anywhere. They try stealing the equipment, we'll be able to track it. So I've thought about a lot of stuff, and it's taken about 3 weeks to put it all together. It's been a frustrating journey. My journey through the desert. I should have probably been documenting this, but it was just like so overwhelming. And then today, this morning, that stream was so overwhelming. Sean even called me and said, that I sounded depressed. Said that I sounded depressed, which I really was, because the plan was to do Uber and DoorDash at the same time. But there's no way that I can keep my stats with DoorDash. There's just no way. So it's really strange. It's really strange, Kendra, because it's like you look from a hindsight position and you look at everything that you've gone through in your life and how it's brought you to this moment, right? And the irony is it brought you to this moment not for me, not for my family, but to meet somebody else's need. Somebody out there needs to hear a message, be uplifted, words of encouragement. Like you mentioned last night, my here we go, or go, 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 or investing in people. And from a childhood, I've had a vision of a car with equipment, all around, a wraparound of stuff that, I'm controlling. I have no idea why I had that dream or that vision, but ironically, here it is. It's manifested itself. And ultimately, I don't know why. But somebody out there does. Somebody out there needs that word of encouragement. Somebody out there needs that, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. And they need that words of encouragement. They need the inspiration. And it's almost like being a school teacher. The money's nice, but really you enjoy when the student comes back and said, "You remember that moment? You changed my life." Shalom, Jay. What's up? You found me during the day instead of late at night. Glad you came to the stream. We're just going to be doing this stream for another 2 hours. Then the next stream, which is once dinner has been served, starts at 5 o'clock my time. Currently, it's just afternoon here. And that'll be a little 5-hour stream going from 5 p.m., 8 o'clock Eastern time till midnight. Excuse me, until 10 o'clock. Only a 5-hour stream. So the idea is, instead of doing these long 12-hour streams where people are popping in and out, they might just be a little bit more sticky and stick around for a 3-4 hour show, and actually get the full message of the content. So I think we're picking up from a Papa John's. No, we're picking up from an Einstein. See, this is where again it's kind of like things happen so fast with Uber, and my anxiety is just like, there's a job, there's some numbers, they look good, click, accept, go, 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 just do it, just do it, just do it. So there's Einstein's over there. The other challenge is that, I know where everything is at inside of my zone. I've been doing it for 5 years inside of my zone. And now and I used to go all over the valley to go do courier service. But that's going into businesses, and you knew where the lawyers were and all the architects and that type of stuff. I don't know where all the restaurants are, but I guess I'll learn. So. All right, I need to run in and get this. This is where that little speed key setup would work, or eventually you learn. But you can see right now in the lower left-hand corner, after I get rid of Shalom J, your comment, maybe not. There we go. Now it should say "be right back." So I will be right back. I was gonna walk in front of the camera just because John does it, because you sit there and you watch a content creator for so long, doing certain things that you pick up on those habits. But I did not. All right, so what am I doing here? I'm putting on my seatbelt. Right now, what do you mean? You were out in Goodyear, Avondale, Buckeye, and Peoria? What are you talking about? You used to live out here? What? You used to live out here? Is that why I said the other day that you were a cactus girl? I didn't know that you were in that part. I used to live out in the Avondale area. Right now, I'm in like Deer Valley area. I'm a little bit north of those areas. Let me do a little correction here. The screen, see if that makes some adjustments. 2010 to 2015. All right, backing up. I need a more powerful computer. So we're back in the car so we can get rid of that little "be right back" sign. Then trying to find images for marketing and the background and the different screens and the different setups. there's a lot more. There's bells and whistles, there's sound effects, there's all sorts of different stuff, that goes with this. I can put on a little background music. For that little background music, I can do things like, good job. You're doing an amazing job, Toyo. Keep it up. I can do a little applause. There's just something about Uber's navigation that I just don't like. Or maybe it's that I'm just not, familiar with this area. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I'm right over in that area. Shalom, jeez. Does everybody live in Arizona? What's going on? Is there stuff I don't know? I have not been paying attention. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Well, guess what? Right now I'm at 83rd and Happy Valley. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, this area wouldn't be too bad as far as the clientele and whatnot. It's just, I'm sure that a lot of food comes out of Arrowhead Shopping Mall. And, just not knowing where the food court is to quickly get in and get out. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. And so right now, this is probably where Starlink really shines, because I have no idea what the cell phone reception is, out here in the foothills of these little hills. I wouldn't really call them mountains, but with different obstructions and whatnot, obviously there's no obstruction to the skies. And Kendra, I don't, because I made you a moderator, and let me do this for you as well, Shalom J. I'm going to add you as a moderator. Whoops. Added you as a managing moderator. Let's change that. Sorry about that. You got a message that you should change. I don't have a managing moderator yet. But what I was going to say is, don't feel obligated. You've got other things to do. You're not feeling well. I know anytime that you pop in that, you got my back. And that means the world to me, believe me. And, you always greet people. That's all that I would ever expect from a moderator. So I appreciate you doing that. And by no means am I requesting your presence, but I do appreciate you stopping by occasionally. All right. I'm going to add a delivery. So it looks like I'm swinging by to pick up some food along the way. Picking up from Freddy's. And this is what I like. This is what I like about Uber, is that they will rapid fire give you stuff. And that's where I think that I'll be able to make up some of the shortfall of coming on out into these areas by doing catering jobs. It was dead there for a while, but I think as I'm starting to accept the majority of these jobs, there hasn't been anything that I've really said no to. That I'm teaching, training the algorithm, if you will, or it's in my profile that this guy will take offers, and there are offers that other people should take as well, but they are just not using my system. So I've had numerous people tell me that the system works, that it increases their rankings in the tier program, that they make more money. So that's all that we can ask for. So again, we're going to go on over here, media, scroll up really quick. Be right back. I've got to get rid of a message in order for that to shine. So I will be right back. Picking up at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak. So a little bit different perspective there. So you can see that even from the browser there, I can add from my phone another individual, verify the order verified, picked up. All right, so now we're off to this next stop. It's working, and here we go. Now, see, this is where the navigation is like, how do I get out of this parking lot? And this is where it's just a little bit more difficult with Uber than it is with DoorDash. I don't know if it's color or what. It's just something is throwing me off. Yeah, it's actually the 3x and the 4x system are both my system. One is you multiply the dollar amount times 3, because every 3 minutes at $20 an hour costs you $1. So 60 minutes divided by 3 is 20. That's your $20. So if it's at a $15 per rate, it's after 10 o'clock at night or it's early in the morning and you're delivering Starbucks. Are you really expecting somebody to give you a $5 tip on a Starbucks order, or a burrito, a single item, or a donut and a juice? And it's like, it's unrealistic. And so you're tanking your acceptance rate, looking for the home run early in the morning or late in the evening, and you're better off doing what John calls stacking wins and going with a buy-4 system. And that maintains your tier ranking with your acceptance rating to give you more offers. Now, John has tweeted and he's like, to be a little bit more selective, and that's fine. I find being selective, that's one way of doing it. The other way is start early and end late on your shift, and then the system does better offers for you automatically. That's what I found out. My own delivery business? No. Well, I did, and then I didn't. It just takes a lot, and there's a lot of liability, and then you got the 1099. There are systems that you can buy out of the box. It's really getting a business like a law firm to take a leap of faith and come on board with you so that you can build up a clientele. And if you find one or two major businesses that are your, hey, no matter what, we're dropping everything to make sure that they're taken care of. Some people will come on board for that because they know that you've got their back, and that that they've got you right where they want you. That if you lose them, that you're really hurting. It's just that with the gig economy. When I left being a dispatcher for a courier service, I started out as a courier, moved into being the dispatcher where I was manually running the software, and they were just starting to get into AI dispatching. And AI really could not. They couldn't make the decision that, hey, we know that this customer really just wants it by 5 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and even though we promised them an hour delivery, or they would have gotten it at 4, really they don't care. They just want it by 5. Well, AI doesn't know how to rationalize that. They don't know the relationship that you have with that customer. Now, I suppose that you could put a field in there and you could try and educate it, say, what is the tolerance level of this customer? But they just don't have the human side of it. They don't have the relationship. And it's just really difficult to find drivers right now and to keep them busy enough for 8 hours out of the day. Where in another point of view with DoorDash, you scheduled for 8 hours, but you're like, you know what? After 4, I'm done. You do that for a small business and a delivery business and a courier service or something along those lines, or any logistics, stuff that you're trying to move. And that's really detrimental if somebody all of a sudden wants to call off, and it puts all the burden on everybody else. So it's a different world, with the gig economy. And the reason why they're able to do it is, you have maybe a crew of 5 drivers, and they've got 8 million, and they've got 1,000 just in your area alone. So it's a different game. So we got an Einstein's and a Freddy's on board. Right now, it looks like we're going to drop off the Einstein's order first, which is good. It's been in the car the longest. Thanks for the 7 people that are watching. I appreciate it. See, it's like right now I have no idea where I am. I think I am close. I think I'm out by the 303 and Happy Valley Road. So I don't even think the 303 was it 303 done when you guys lived out here. Shalom Jay and Kendra, if you're still watching. I know I could jump on the 303 and eventually it would hook up with the 17 or the 10. Oh, and I did get a free drink from Freddy's. Thank you to the merchants who take care of the drivers. It really is greatly appreciated. Sometimes that's additional compensation when you've been waiting because your food took 6 minutes and cost you $2 and it was only a $7 job. That's why a lot of times I'll actually educate the merchant as to why it is that they have attitude with some drivers, and it's not because of the merchant, but because of the system that dispatched him 10 minutes early, and knowing, in my opinion, knowing fully well that order was going to be late. Those systems talk with each other behind the scenes. Amanda, thanks for stopping in. It's like I had top messages on instead of all messages, but I just figured out how to switch that over. I do. I drive from 280 to 400 miles a day is what I do. All right, this is interesting. This is my first one that I don't know. Please don't ring. Leave at the door. Message to the gate. All right, so they just opened up the gate. Thank you. Need an 18. Usually I use an app called Beans to find this stuff, and I'm trusting Uber this time. And it seems like they're doing a pretty good job. Now I am going to park off to the side here.
Unit 18. Please don't ring alarm off. Leave a door. Message for gate code.
Alright, so this is Andrea from Einstein. Alright, I'll be right back.